When I'm designing or delivering online learning, Google Docs is one of my go-to tools, and in this short video demonstration I hope to show you why that is. Well, let's open a Google document so that I can show you how it works. All I need to do is go to this matrix of Google applications, which you can see even if you're in Gmail or a different application. So click on the matrix and you'll see the icons come up. There's Google Docs, a direct link to open a new Google document. But if you don't see that for some reason, you can also open a new Google Doc from the Drive icon. That'll take you to your files and folders in Google Drive. All you do then, click on New, wait for the drop-down box, and there's Google Docs. So that now opens up as an untitled document. And the first thing I'll do, I'll rectify that and give it a name. Call it Jay's document, and I'll just capitalize that. And there we are, we have Jay's document. If you are unfamiliar with Google Docs, you'll notice straight away the familiarity of the tools and icons. You can change the text size, the style of text, the font. You can bold, italicize, underline text and change its color. And from these tools along here, you can also insert hyperlinks or images. If you prefer, click on the Insert tab and you'll get a drop-down menu of those same tools. So that's the basic blank Google document. Well, let's imagine that I intend to use this document as a review of some of the features of the Equality Act 2010. And I'm going to ask my students, what are the 9 protected characteristics? So I've just typed this in so you don't have to watch me type. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to just drop down a line and I'm going to insert a table. So what are the 9 protected characteristics? I'm going to go for 2 columns and I'm going to go for 10 rows because I want the top row to include the title. Next, I'm just going to move this central line across because I'm going to put numbers in these cells down here. But before I do that, I'll just merge these 2 cells at the top. Where is it? There it is. Merge the cells, and I'll now take this text and drag it straight into there. So I've now got a table. What are the 9 protected characteristics? I can then enter the numbers down here. There we are, and there are the rows into which students can input their answers. Well, so far this just looks like any normal plain document, but I'm going to show you now one of the most powerful features of Google Docs, which is the share function. So I'm going to come across here and just click that blue button which says share. And I have some options here. I can get a shareable link to this document, which I could send to as many people as I wish, or even embed it in a blog or a web page. Alternatively, I could decide to invite people by email, and I'll do that in this case, and I'll invite myself on a different email account and just say, Hi Jay, like to collaborate, and I'll send that email now, that invitation, to my other email address. It's asking me if I'm sure, and I'll say yes, and that's now sending that email. And it says on my document that this is now shared with 1 person, and that's great. Well, now I'm going to open the email that I sent to my other account. So I'll click here, and here it is. Jay's document, invitation to edit. So I can open that email and I can click this link here to go to the document, or it says here open in Docs, and I'll do that. Click to open in Docs. So now the thing to remember about Google Docs is that anybody who I sent the link to this document to can now edit in real time with me. Of course, they don't have to do it in real time. Each of us can visit the document at different times and make our contributions. But the real power of Google Docs is to get teams to collaborate together, as I say, in real time, to see and comment on what other team members or other document collaborators are inputting. As tutor or moderator of the document, I can also monitor in real time the contributions of the different team members or collaborators, which is really useful to me as an instructor. Okay, well, let me take you now to another tool within Google Docs which I find indispensable, and that is the chat feature. So whilst the document is being completed by a team or group of collaborators, we can hover over here, just click over here, and that will open a chat box. And this tells me who's live online at any particular time. So I can simply write in the box at the bottom, "Hi Jay, any suggestions?" for the 9 protected characteristics. Hit return, and that message goes directly into the chat box. And there's a permanent record of this which can be saved and printed off later, as can the Google document itself. So in response to that request for a suggestion, I get a suggestion, how about age as one of the characteristics? I like that, so I'm going to add that to the document. Of course, I don't have to wait for suggestions to come through the chat feature, and anybody can input an entry into the table directly. So we could put in marital status, for example. Incidentally, when you do have a number of people collaborating on a document, each of their inputs will show up with a different cursor color and their name as well if they've logged in with their Google account. So we don't just rely on the chat box. The chat box is there, can be used for suggestions. We could equally put in hyperlinks to websites that we think are relevant. And as we build up this table of characteristics with suggestions and inputs from different team members, you can begin to see the power of Google Docs as a collaborative tool, particularly useful in online learning. As I say, at the end of a session, this Google document is a record of what took place. It's savable, it's printable, and it can be used for learners to review the process of what took place during a session. Really handy, really powerful, really useful tool for online learning.